They said it was just a bridal party prank. I searched everywhere for my ivory heels, then his hand struck my face. When the reception music started, I switched roles from the difficult stepdaughter to the evening's director, and the party literally went up in flames. You don't want to miss the microphone, the LED screen, and a venue contract clause I was about to activate. Trust me, by the time the first dance ended, everyone would know exactly who the difficult one really was. My name is Elise Parker, and at 29, I've coordinated enough weddings to know when one is about to implode. Standing in the bridal suite of Maple Ridge Barn, watching my stepsister Kelsey fuss with her veil while my mother Carol hovers nearby with that practiced smile, I can feel that electric tension before everything goes wrong. Elise, sweetie, could you double-check the timeline? Mom asks, not quite meeting my eyes. You know how these things go better than anyone. Why, I work as an assistant event manager at North Coast Atelier here in Madison, which apparently makes me the default unpaid coordinator for family functions. Never mind that I'm supposed to be a guest today. Just another bridesmaid in sage green chiffon. Timeline's solid, I say, scrolling through my phone. Processional at 4:30, cocktail hour at 5, dinner at 6:30. I've already walked through it 3 times with the actual coordinator. Kelsey hired some friend of a friend who keeps checking Instagram instead of her clipboard. Ron's voice booms from the doorway. Everything better run smooth. I'm not paying 30 grand for amateur hour. My stepfather, 6 feet of small business owner ego wrapped in a rented tux that's straining at the shoulders. He married Mom 5 years ago, and I've been the difficult one ever since I didn't immediately worship the ground he walks on. It'll be perfect, honey, Mom soothes, her hand finding his arm with practiced ease. That's her role the smoother, the peacekeeper, the one who pretends not to notice when Ron's jokes have teeth. I turn back to my checklist, but my eyes drift to the venue contract tucked into my purse. I helped draft similar ones at North Coast, and Maple Ridge's terms are particularly strict. 0 tolerance for violence or harassment. The venue reserves the right to terminate services immediately, cut the bar, even shut down the music. One incident and the whole celebration stops. Dylan, get in here. Ron barks at my younger brother, who appears in the doorway looking uncomfortable in his groomsman attire. Dylan's 25 and still acts like he's 15 around Ron, all shoulders up defense and nervous laughter. Looking sharp, I tell him, and he gives me a grateful half smile. Just don't let your sister make things complicated, Ron says, his eyes finding mine. We all know how she likes to make everything about her expertise. The makeup artist's brush pauses on Kelsey's cheek. Even the photographer, my friend Tori Bennett, lowers her camera slightly. Just trying to help, I say, keeping my voice level. Help by staying quiet and smiling, Ron says. Think you can manage that? I think about the contract in my purse, about the very specific language regarding assault, harassment, and grounds for immediate termination, about how I've seen 3 weddings shut down this season alone because someone couldn't keep their hands to themselves. Of course, I say, sweet as wedding cake frosting. Kelsey laughs, that tinkling sound she's perfected since getting engaged. Dad, don't worry. Elise will behave. Won't you, Dad? She's called him that since day 1, sliding into the role of favored daughter like she was born for it. Meanwhile, I'm nearly 30 and still get lectured about my attitude. Just need to get through today, I murmur to myself, straightening the programs on the side table. The venue's emergency procedures are posted right there by the door phone numbers for security, management, even the non-emergency police line. I make a mental note. Tori catches my eye and mouths, "You okay?" I nod, but she knows me too well. She's been documenting my life since college, and her camera has caught more than just smiles over the years. She shifts position, getting a wide shot of the room, everyone in their places. Evidence. My brain supplies unbidden. Photos always make good evidence. 15 minutes until we need to line up, the hired coordinator announces, finally looking up from her phone. Elise, go check that the groomsmen are ready. Mom says, you know how to keep everyone on schedule. Of course. Use my skills when convenient, dismiss them when not. I stand, smoothing my bridesmaid dress, and head for the door. And Elise. Ron's voice stops me. Don't try any of your venue management tricks today. This is Kelsey's day. Wouldn't dream of it, I say, fingers brushing the contract in my purse. I know exactly what Maple Ridge's triggers are. I helped write half of them during our industry collaboration last year. One documented incident of violence, one call to their emergency line, one activation of their zero-tolerance clause, and this $30,000 party becomes a legal lesson in consequences. Just need to get through today, I repeat as I walk down the hall. But sometimes, getting through means going straight through the middle of the storm. 20 minutes before the processional, my ivory heels vanish. Not misplaced vanished. I'd set them right beside my purse, perfectly aligned, the way I organize everything. Now there's just empty carpet where $200 shoes should be. Has anyone seen my shoes? I ask, checking under the vanity, behind the dress bags. Kelsey giggles from her throne at the makeup station. Oh, it's tradition hide the bridesmaid's shoes for good luck. You'll find them eventually. The ceremony starts in 20 minutes, I say, voice tight. I need them now. Don't be so uptight. Kelsey waves her champagne flute. It's just a bit of fun. Mom's jaw tenses. Elise, stop making a scene. Just borrow someone's shoes. Everyone else is wearing silver. I'm in ivory to match the color scheme Kelsey specifically requested. I'm on my hands and knees now, looking under the sofa. This isn't funny. God, you really can't take a joke, Kelsey mutters. I text Tori. My shoes are gone. Can you check the other room? Her reply is instant on it. Barefoot. I pad to the door, my dress hem dragging. The coordinator is nowhere to be found, probably getting another Instagram hit. I need to get to the staging area, ensure the groomsmen are lined up, that the music cues are ready. Even as a guest, I can't turn off the event manager in me. Ron blocks the doorway. Where do you think you're going? To find my shoes so we can start on time. Kelsey said it's tradition. Stop ruining everything with your drama. It's not drama. It's 15 minutes until... You always do this. His face is getting red, that particular shade that appears after his second scotch. Everything has to be your way. Can't just go with the flow. Can't take a fucking joke. Ron, I just need my shoes. The slap comes fast, his palm cracking across my left cheek. The sound echoes in the small prep room. Behind him, I hear Mom gasp. The makeup artist drops her brush. Stop. Being difficult. Each word comes with a shove to my shoulder, pushing me back into the room. My bare feet stumble on the carpet. The room freezes. Kelsey's champagne glass hovers mid-sip. Mom's hands cover her mouth. The assistant photographer, not Tori. Some second shooter has his camera raised, and I hear the subtle click of the shutter. My cheek burns. There'll be a mark. There's always a mark when Ron loses his temper, though usually he's smarter about where he aims. I need to check on the timeline, I say quietly, my voice steady despite the trembling in my hands. You need to shut up and smile, Ron says, straightening his boutonniere like nothing happened. 10 minutes until showtime. He leaves. The room exhales. Elise. Mom starts. Don't. I pull out my phone, switch to selfie mode. 4:12 p.m. My cheek is already reddening, his finger marks visible. I take 3 photos, different angles. Then I photograph the room, the witnesses, the makeup artist staring with wide eyes, the assistant photographer lowering his camera. Did you get that? I ask him quietly. He nods, looking sick. What's your name? Jeremy. Jeremy. I might need that photo later. Tori appears in the doorway, my ivory heels in her hands. Found them shoved in a gift box in the groomsmen's room. There was this tucked inside. She hands me a small card. Kelsey's handwriting. Stop being so difficult. I photograph that too. 4:15 p.m. Elise, your face. Tori's already pulling out her phone. I know. Can you document it? Timestamps, multiple angles. She nods. Professional mode activated. This is why I love her no questions. Just action. The makeup artist approaches with concealer. I can cover most of it, she whispers. I'm Sarah, by the way, from Glow Studio. I saw everything. Thank you. Sarah. I sit still while she works, my mind racing through possibilities. The venue contract, the zero tolerance policy, the emergency procedures taped by the door. 5 minutes. Someone calls from the hallway. I slip on my shoes, check my face in the mirror. Sarah's good, the red is muted to pink, looking almost like blush in the soft light. But the photos will tell the truth. They always do. Standing. I smooth my dress and look around the room. The microphone system for speeches is already set up in the reception hall. The LED screens they use for the slideshow are connected to the AV system. The venue manager, Megan, is a former colleague who takes assault on her property personally. Showtime, Kelsey says brightly, as if nothing happened, as if her father didn't just hit me, as if my shoes weren't hidden as some cruel joke. I follow them out, my phone heavy with evidence in my purse, right next to the venue contract. The timeline says processional at 4:30, photos until 5:30, cocktails and reception following. But I'm already writing a new timeline in my head, one where this picture-perfect wedding becomes something else entirely. Because if Ron thinks I'm difficult now, he has no idea what an event manager with evidence, industry connections, and a zero-tolerance clause can actually do. The wedding march begins. I take my position in line, ivory shoes firmly on my feet, and smile for the cameras. The show, as they say, must go on. But it doesn't have to go on the way they planned. The ceremony ends at 5:10. While everyone clusters for photos on the lawn, I slip away to the parking lot and call the Dane County non-emergency line. I need to file an assault report, I say, voice steady. Not requesting immediate response, but I need an incident number for documentation. The dispatcher is professional, takes my information, the location, the time of assault. Are you safe now, ma'am? Yes, I'm at a wedding reception. The assailant is my stepfather. I have witnesses and photographic evidence. She gives me an incident number. I write it on my phone notes, 2024-7892. Official record created. Back inside. I find Megan in her office behind the main reception hall. She's reviewing the evening timeline, her venue manager badge catching the light. Elise didn't know you were in the wedding party today. Megan, I need to invoke the zero tolerance clause. Her expression shifts from friendly to professional in an instant. What happened? I show her the photos, the timestamp, the witness names, the incident number. Jesus Christ, she breathes. Ron did this. 4:12 p.m. in the prep room. Sarah from Glow Studio saw it. Jeremy the photographer has images. My friend Tori has additional documentation. Megan pulls out the contract. He's the payment guarantor. His name is on everything. She looks up. You know if I activate this clause. Bar service terminates. Music can be cut. He has to leave the property. I lean forward. But Megan, I don't want to ruin the whole wedding. Just be ready. If he touches me again, if he threatens anyone, I'll shut it down. She photocopies my evidence. But Elise, I can act now. You have grounds. After his toast. That's when. She nods slowly. Your call. I'll brief security. Have them positioned. The moment you signal, thank you. Next, stop the DJ booth. Theo's setting up for the reception entrance, adjusting levels on his board. Theo, I need a favor. He glances up, sees something in my face. We've worked 3 weddings together before. What kind of favor? If Megan gives you a signal during the father's toast, I need you to cut the music and display something on the LED screens. Display what? I plug my phone into his system, transfer the files, the photos, the incident report number, a screenshot of the venue's zero tolerance policy with the relevant sections highlighted. This is heavy, he says quietly. Will you do it? Megan's signal. Megan's signal. He saves the files to a folder labeled Emergency. You got it. The bartender lead, Marcus, is next. I catch him during a supply run to the back bar. Marcus, heads up. There might be an incident during the toasts. If Megan calls for bar termination, zero tolerance activation. He's seen it before. Say no more. I'll have the team ready to lock down. The witnesses need to be documented. I find Sarah touching up makeup in the bridal suite. Sarah, I need a written statement. Just what you saw, the time, what was said. She doesn't hesitate, writes it on venue letterhead. Clear, concise, damning. Jeremy's uploading photos to his laptop when I approach. That photo from 412. Already flagged it, he says. I also have 3 shots showing the mark developing over the next 10 minutes. Want copies? Please. Tori finds me adjusting my dress in the bathroom. I've got 17 photos, she says. Different angles, timestamps visible. I also recorded audio of my witness statement. What's the plan? Controlled demolition, I say, applying lipstick with steady hands. Legal, documented, and devastating. You need backup. Just be ready to film when it happens. Dylan intercepts me outside the reception hall. Elise, what's going on? Mom's acting weird and Ron's already 3 drinks deep. I look at my younger brother, see the worry in his eyes. Stay near Ron's table during the toasts. Why? Because you've always been good at de-escalation. I squeeze his shoulder. And because I need you to see what happens next isn't my fault. Elise, trust me. The reception hall glows with fairy lights and candle-lit centerpieces. Kelsey and her new husband make their entrance to applause. Mom smiles that rigid smile. Ron raises his scotch to the photographer. I take my seat at the head table, phone within reach. The evidence is uploaded, backed up, dispersed. The venue manager is ready. The DJ has his files. Security is briefed. The incident report exists in official systems. I find the note card that was hidden with my shoes. Smooth it on the table. Stop being so difficult. The MC, a cousin of the groom, taps the microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, dinner will be served shortly. But first, let's hear from the father of the bride. Ron stands, straightening his tie. His face is flushed drink number 4. At least. He takes the microphone with the confidence of a man who's never faced consequences. I catch Megan's eye from across the room. She nods, hand near her radio. Ready when you are, I whisper to myself, touching the bruise hidden under makeup. The microphone squeals slightly as Ron begins, My beautiful daughter Kelsey, my princess. I place my hand on my phone. Time to redirect this show. The AV system hums quietly as I review the prepared slides with Theo one more time. It's 6:45, and Ron's toast is scheduled for 7:15, right after the salads. Folder's ready. Theo confirms, showing me his laptop screen. Emergency folder, 1-click activation, photos, incident number, venue policy, and... He pauses. You sure about the audio? The audio, my voice, recorded in Megan's office an hour ago. This is not a prank. What you're seeing is evidence of assault that occurred at 4:12 p.m. today. Maple Ridge Barn has a zero-tolerance policy for violence. It needs to be clear, I say. No confusion, no room for interpretation. Your call? He positions the laptop for quick access. 7 minutes into the first dance set. If Megan signals, exactly, cut the music mid-song if necessary. I move through the reception hall, checking positions. Megan has 2 security guards now, one near the main entrance, another by the service corridor. They're discreet, professional, briefed. Sarah from Glow Studio approaches me quietly. I gave my statement to Megan. She made copies. Thank you. That's not the first time he's hit someone, is it? I don't answer, but she sees it in my eyes. At the bar, Marcus has reorganized the premium bottles, moving them to a locked cabinet behind the well bottles. If we get the shutdown signal, hard liquor gets locked first, he explains to his team. Beer and wine stay available for exactly 3 minutes to prevent rush. Then everything closes. The documentation is meticulous. I've created a digital folder on my phone photos timestamped at 4:12, 4:15, 4:18 showing the progression of the mark, Sarah's written statement, Jeremy's contact information, the incident report number, screenshots of text messages from Kelsey about being difficult, the hidden shoes photo with the mocking note. But there's one more piece. I find the head table seating chart, photograph it, then take a picture of the microphone setup. Evidence that Ron will be speaking from a position of authority. At a microphone, everyone will be watching. Elise, Dylan appears with 2 glasses of water. You haven't eaten. Not hungry. What happened earlier, Mom won't say, but her hands are shaking. I pull him to a corner, show him one photo, just my reddened cheek. Timestamp visible. Jesus. Ron. Stay near his table. I repeat. Well, when it happens, don't interfere. Just be ready to help Mom. When what happens, justice. Back at the prep station, I tested the connection between my phone and the AV system one more time. The slides load perfectly full resolution, impossible to misinterpret. The venue's zero tolerance clause is highlighted in yellow, the relevant sections about immediate termination and removal from property. Tori has positioned herself at the perfect angle she can capture both the LED screens and the head table reaction in the same frame. Getting some lovely candids, she says loudly for anyone listening, but her eyes tell me she's ready. Jeremy approaches with his camera. I've backed up those files to 3 separate drives, he whispers, timestamps intact. The puzzle pieces are in place, evidence documented and distributed, witnesses prepared with written statements, venue management ready to enforce their contract, security positioned, bar ready for emergency shutdown. AV system loaded with undeniable proof. I return to the bridal suite one more time, find the box where my shoes were hidden. Inside, under the tissue paper, there are more notes, photos of me from other events with cruel comments in Kelsey's handwriting. Always has to be in charge. Thinks she's so smart. Daddy likes me better. I photograph them all. 7:05 p.m. The final touch, I draft an email to myself with all the evidence attached, scheduled to send at 7:20 p.m. to my work email, personal email, and cloud storage. Subject line, documentation of assault, Whitaker, Parker wedding. If anything goes wrong, if someone tries to delete or suppress, the evidence will already be dispersed. Back in the reception hall, dinner service has begun. The clink of silverware, murmur of conversation, soft jazz from the speakers, normal wedding sounds that are about to become something else. Ron's at his table, laughing too loud, drinking too fast. Scotch number 5 or 6. Mom sits beside him, barely touching her food. Kelsey glows at the head table, oblivious or uncaring. I take my assigned seat, smooth my napkin across my lap. The microphone stands ready at the front. The LED screens cycle through childhood photos of the bride and groom. Soon they'll show something very different. Testing, testing. The MC taps the mic. We'll have our father of the bride toast in just a few minutes. Folks, I open my messages to Megan. Ready. Her response is immediate. Standing by. 7:12. The salad plates are being cleared. The microphone is adjusted to Ron's height. I touch the bruise under my makeup one more time, feeling its edges, its heat, evidence of what he is, proof of what this family allows. 7:14. Ron pushes back his chair, picks up his scotch. Theo, I text. Stand by. Ready? He confirms. The MC hands Ron the microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the father of the bride. Applause ripples through the room. Ron grins, raises his glass. My hand hovers over my phone, ready to give Megan the final signal. Some people, Ron begins, his words slightly slurred, think they know everything, think they can run everything their way. He's looking directly at me. My phone is ready. One word to Megan, and 7 minutes into the next song, everything changes. But tonight, Ron continues, is about my beautiful daughter. I type green light, send. The reception flows like honey golden, warm, deceptively smooth. Ron finishes his rambling toast about Kelsey being his perfect princess and how family should support each other, not make waves. The irony isn't lost on me as I raise my champagne glass with everyone else, the bubbles sharp against my tongue. 7:28. The first dance begins Ed Sheeran's Perfect, because of course it is. Kelsey melts into her new husband's arms under the spotlight while 300 guests sigh collectively. I count the beats in my head. Theo has his hand near the laptop, waiting. The string lights cast everything in amber warmth. Servers glide between tables with entrees, herb-crusted chicken or salmon. Kelsey spent months deciding. The photographer's assistant captures grandmothers dabbing their eyes. Perfect wedding tableau. Every detail Instagram ready, except for the undercurrent I've set in motion. I watch Megan speak quietly into her radio. The security guard near the entrance shifts position slightly. Ready, but not obvious. Marcus at the bar instructing his team to start organizing bottles, casual to anyone watching. Beautiful ceremony, Aunt Patricia says, sliding into the empty seat beside me. Though you looked a bit flushed during photos. Dear, are you feeling all right? Just warm, I say, touching my cheek reflexively. The makeup still holds, but underneath, Ron's handprint throbs in time with my heartbeat. 7:35. The first dance ends. Couples flood the floor for the open dancing. September by Earth. Wind and Fire starts upbeat. Celebratory. 1 song down, 6 to go. Mom approaches my table, champagne glass trembling slightly. Elise, we need to talk. Not now. Please. About earlier. Mom, sit down, drink some water, and in about 5 minutes, be ready to distance yourself from Ron. Her face pales. What did you do? What you should have done years ago. She opens her mouth, closes it, drifts back to her table like a ghost in navy blue. 7:40. Song 3, Uptown Funk. The dance floor packed, energy high. Kelsey has changed into her reception dress, shorter, sparklier. $1,500 of dancing freedom. Tori positions herself near the DJ booth, camera ready but casual. She catches my eye, nods. Jeremy's on the opposite side, getting crowd shots that happen to include the LED screens in frame. Marcus starts moving premium bottles to the locked cabinet. Slow, methodical. His team follows suit without question. 7:43. Song 4 begins. I want to dance with somebody. Ron's at the bar, demanding another scotch. Marcus pours precisely, knowing it might be the last drink served tonight. A text from Megan. Confirm green light. Confirmed. I reply. 3 minutes. The fragments of conversation drift past. Such a lovely couple. The flowers are perfect. Must have cost a fortune. They have no idea what's about to detonate in their midst. Dylan hovers near Ron's table as instructed, pretending to chat with cousins but watching everything. He keeps glancing at me, worry creasing his forehead. 7:46. Song 5. Celebration by Kool and the Gang. How appropriate. People are loose now, jackets off, ties undone. Someone's aunt does the electric slide alone in the corner. Kelsey whirls past me, radiant with wine and attention. Having fun, stepsis, or are you taking notes for improvement like always? Just soaking it all in, I say. She laughs, not catching the edge in my voice, and spins back into the crowd. 7:48. Song 6 starts Dancing Queen. Megan stands near the main light panel. Security guards shift to their final positions. Marcus's team has nearly finished securing the top shelf. I stand, smooth my dress, walk to where I have a clear view of both the crowd and the screens, my phone ready to record, though Tori and Jeremy will capture it better. The bruise throbs. The evidence waits. The venue contract terms are locked and loaded. Ron's by the dance floor now, whisking some great aunt around, playing the jovial host. Mom sits frozen at her table, watching me watch him. The music builds to the chorus. Voices sing along. Dancing Queen, young and sweet, only 17. 7:50. The song has maybe 40 seconds left. I text Megan, now. She nods to Theo. The countdown begins. When this song ends, the 7th will begin. And sometime during those first 7 minutes, the music will cut, the screens will light up with truth, and Ron's $30,000 party will become something else entirely. 30 seconds. Kelsey throws her hands up, laughing at something her new mother-in-law says. 20 seconds. Ron heads back to the bar, swagger stumbling slightly. 10 seconds. The room spins with joy and alcohol and celebration. 5 seconds. I stand perfectly still, a fixed point in the chaos. The song ends. Silence for a heartbeat. Then, signed, sealed, delivered, starts song 7, the final song before everything changes. I watch the timer on my phone. 1 minute, 2, 3. Theo's hand moves toward the emergency folder. 4 minutes, 5, 6. Megan raises her hand. 6 minutes, 30 seconds. The music builds to its peak. Everyone shouting, signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. 7 minutes. Theo clicks. The music cuts mid-word. The screens go black. Then they blaze to life with my battered face. Timestamp visible 4:12 p.m. My recorded voice fills the sudden silence. This is not a prank. What you're seeing is evidence of assault that occurred today at 4:12 p.m. The room freezes. The party, as planned, is over. The screens hold my bruised face for 10 seconds. 10 seconds of absolute silence while 300 guests process what they're seeing. Then the images change multiple angles, the progression of the mark, timestamp after timestamp. Ron drops his scotch. Glass shatters on the parquet floor. What the fuck? He roars, spinning toward the DJ booth. I pick up the wireless microphone from the gift table, my voice steady and clear. Good evening. I'm Elise Parker, sister of the bride. Earlier today, at 4:12 p.m., I was assaulted in the bridal prep room. The screen changes Sarah's written statement, her signature clear. This occurred after my shoes were hidden as a prank. The screen shows the shoes in the box. Then the note, stop being so difficult. Gasps ripple through the crowd. Kelsey stands frozen, her reception dress glittering under lights that suddenly seem harsh. Multiple witnesses observed Ronald Whitaker strike me in the face and shove me repeatedly. The screen displays Jeremy's contact information, the assistant photographer's testimony. Ron charges toward me. Security moves faster. Don't touch her, sir, the guard says, stepping between us. This is my daughter's wedding. Ron's face is purple now, veins bulging. Turn this off, now. I continue, calm as still water. I filed a report with Dane County. Incident number 2024-7892. The screen proves it, the official number, the timestamp of my call. Megan takes the handheld mic from the DJ booth. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Megan Walsh, venue manager. Maple Ridge Barn has a zero-tolerance policy for violence. The screen displays the contract, relevant sections highlighted in yellow. Per our agreement, signed by Mr. Whitaker. Megan continues. Any documented assault results in immediate termination of alcohol service and removal of the perpetrator from the premises. You can't. Ron lunges again. This time, both security guards restrain him. I click to the next slide photos of similar bruising on my arms from 2 months ago. Dated, documented. This wasn't the first time. Mom makes a sound like air leaving a balloon. But it will be the last. I set down the microphone and address Ron directly. Bar service is terminated. You have 5 minutes to leave voluntarily, or law enforcement will assist. Carol! Ron shouts at my mother. Tell them this is ridiculous. Mom stands slowly, her voice small but clear. I saw it happen. Ron. The room erupts. Guests talking, some pulling out phones, others backing away from Ron like he's radioactive. Kelsey finally finds her voice. You're ruining my wedding. No, I say, picking up the mic again. Your father ruined it at 4:12 when he chose violence. The screen shows one more image, multiple notes from Kelsey, all mocking, all cruel. You were part of it. The shoes, the notes, the culture of just take it, don't be difficult. It was just a joke, she screams. Assault isn't a joke. Covering bruises with makeup isn't funny. Hiding evidence isn't tradition. Dylan moves to Mom's side, puts his arm around her shoulders. She's crying silently, mascara streaming. Ron breaks free for a moment, stumbles toward me. You little... 3 things happen simultaneously. Security grabs him again. Tori's camera flash captures his rage-twisted face, and we hear them sirens. Distant, but approaching. You called the cops, Kelsey shrieks. I filed a report. I correct. Due diligence. Documentation. Everything a venue requires to protect itself and its guests from liability. Megan nods to Marcus. The bar staff pull down metal gates over the alcohol. The sound echoes like prison doors. 2 minutes. Mr. Whitaker, security says. Ron's looking around wildly now, seeking allies. The groom's family has collectively stepped back. His business partners avoid eye contact. Even his brother turns away. This is illegal, he tries. This is contract law, Megan says. You signed it. Page 12, Section 4. The screens still cycle through evidence. My face. The timestamps. The witness statements. The pattern of abuse laid out like a PowerPoint from hell. Please. Mom suddenly speaks up, addressing the room. Those who want to continue celebrating. The couple arranged mocktails and light beer. The DJ will resume music shortly. This is between family. Family doesn't hit family, I say into the microphone. My eyes on Ron. Family doesn't hide bruises or make excuses or gaslight victims into silence. The security guards start moving Ron toward the exit. He's struggling, cursing, threatening lawsuits, but they're professionals. They've done this before. You're nothing without me, he shouts at Mom. That house, the cars, everything, is half mine per Wisconsin marriage law, she says quietly. I consulted a lawyer last month. That stops him cold. The room holds its breath as Ron Whitaker, successful businessman, country club member, father of the bride, is escorted from his daughter's $30,000 reception like a common criminal. Red and blue lights flash through the windows now, not coming to arrest him yet, but to ensure he leaves, to document his removal, to add another layer to the paper trail I've built. Kelsey collapses into her new husband's arms, sobbing dramatically. But I notice he's not looking at her. He's looking at the screens, at the evidence, at the truth of what he married into. The last image appears the venue's zero-tolerance policy, followed by a simple message: Maple Ridge Barn stands against violence. Tonight, we acted. I set down the microphone. Music will resume in 5 minutes, Megan announces. The couple's celebration continues without violence, without fear. Through the windows, we watch Ron being placed in a patrol car, not arrested, but officially trespassed, banned from returning. I walk to Mom, who looks smaller than I've ever seen her. I'm sorry, she whispers. Tonight isn't about sorry, I say. Tonight is about finally saying no more. The screens go dark. The evidence has been presented. The perpetrator has been removed. Now we see what's left when the truth comes to light. The patrol car's taillights disappear down the drive. Inside, Megan takes the microphone again, her voice professional steel. Ladies and gentlemen, per the venue contract, there's a $10,000 penalty for violence-related incidents. This will be charged to the card on file. Kelsey shrieks, 10,000. Page 14, Section 2, Megan says. The deposit account is in Ronald Whitaker's name. The charge processes automatically. I watch Kelsey's face cycle through emotions, rage, disbelief, calculation. Her new husband whispers urgently in her ear. Additionally, Megan continues, alcohol service remains terminated per contract. However, The groom's family has generously offered to cover mocktails and light beer from their own budget. The groom's father nods from his table, already on his phone with their credit card out. Smart man distancing his family from the Whitaker implosion while looking gracious. Kelsey breaks away from her husband, storms toward me. You planned this. You vindictive. Stop. I hold up the note from my shoebox. Your handwriting. Your cruelty. Your choice to hide my shoes knowing it would cause problems. It was a joke, traditional wedding pranks. Show me the tradition where the bride helps assault happen. I pull out my phone. Display the message thread. Here's you texting the groomsmen about where to hide them. Here's you saying, Dad will handle her if she complains. Here's you calling me dramatic when I asked where they were. The crowd is listening. Several phones are recording. This will be on social media within minutes. Dylan steps forward. Kels, I saw the box in Jessica's bridesmaid kit. He nods toward the maid of honor. You all knew. Jessica Kelsey's college roommate goes pale. We didn't know he would. You knew enough, I say. You participated enough. The groom's mother approaches Kelsey. Dear, perhaps we should cut the cake, move forward with the evening. But Kelsey's not done. You're just jealous. You've always been jealous that Daddy loves me more. He's not your daddy, I say quietly. He's my mother's husband who hit me. And yes, he loves you more. Abusers always love the enablers more than the truth-tellers. Mom suddenly speaks. Kelsey, stop. Please, just stop. You're taking her side. There are no sides, Mom says. There's only what happened, what's been happening, what I let happen. She looks at me. What I failed to protect you from. The DJ good professional that Theo is starts playing soft background music. Instrumental, non-intrusive. Some guests drift toward the dance floor, desperate for normalcy. Marcus approaches with a tablet. Ms. Parker, the bar inventory shows Mr. Whitaker consumed 8 premium scotches before the incident. That's $400 that needs to be settled separately from the venue penalty. Bill it to his card, Megan says. It's all documented. Kelsey laughs hysterically. This is insane. My wedding is ruined over some little slap. Battery. I correct. Legal term. Documented battery. The groom pulls Kelsey aside, his voice low but carrying, My family is offering to continue the reception. We can still have cake, dancing, photos. But you need to stop attacking Elise. Now. You're supposed to support me. I'm trying to save what's left of our wedding, he says. Your father assaulted someone. It's documented. It's done. We can either salvage this or lose everything. She looks around the room at guests filming, at staff watching, at the empty bar with its locked gates. The reality finally hits. Fine, she spits. But I want her gone. No, Megan says. Ms. Parker is a victim of assault that occurred on my property. She has every right to remain. You, however, as someone who participated in the harassment, are on thin ice. I gather my purse, my phone, the evidence I no longer need to carry. Actually, I'm leaving. Not because you want me to, Kelsey, but because I've done what I needed to do. Tori appears at my elbow. I'll drive you. Wait, Mom says. Elise, please, can we talk? Later tomorrow. I look at her, really look. She seems older, frailer, like something inside has cracked. Tomorrow, I agree. Without Ron, she nods, tears fresh on her cheeks. As I walk toward the exit, guests part like water. Some nod supportively, others whisper. A few actually applaud softly women, mostly with knowing eyes. The groom's father stops me at the door. Ms. Parker Jim Harrison. He hands me a business card. I'm an attorney. If you need representation regarding this incident, call me pro bono. Thank you. Outside, the November air hits sharp and clean. The parking lot still has one patrol car, officer taking statements from security. They wave me over. Ms. Parker, we need your statement for the trespass order. As I speak to the officer, Through the barn's windows, I see the reception attempting to restart, the cake being wheeled out, the photographer trying to arrange group shots, the hollow mechanics of a wedding continuing without its core. Kelsey in her sparkly dress, smiling desperately for photos, Mom sitting alone at the head table, Dylan talking quietly with the groom's family. My phone buzzes. The automated email, all evidence backed up to 3 locations. Timestamp 8:20 p.m. Another text from an unknown number. This is Sarah from Glow Studio. Thank you for standing up. You gave a lot of us strength tonight. Similar messages start flooding in. Guests who slipped out. Vendors who witnessed everything. Even one from Jeremy. Photos are yours free of charge. Documentation matters. Tori starts her car. Your place or mine? Mine. I need to file the formal charges tomorrow. As we drive away, I see Ron's abandoned boutonniere crushed in the gravel. Ivory rose petals scattered like evidence of a crime scene, which, I suppose, it is. The reception continues behind us, limping toward midnight. The show, as they say, must go on. But the truth went on first, and that makes all the difference. The wooden deck behind Maple Ridge Barn creaks under our feet. It's 9:45 now, and through the floor-to-ceiling windows, the reception continues its strange, fractured rhythm. The DJ plays something upbeat, probably trying to salvage the mood. A few couples dance, but it looks more like swaying at a funeral than celebrating a wedding. Tori hands me her spare jacket. The November air bites through my bridesmaid dress, and thin snow has started to fall, dusting the railings like spilled sugar. You ready to go? She asks. 1 minute. Dylan pushes through the side door, his groomsman tie undone, hanging loose around his neck. Elise. How bad is it in there? Kelsey's telling anyone who'll listen that you're mentally unstable. Mom's not speaking to anyone. The groom's family is basically running the reception now. He pauses. But half the room is on your side. I heard 3 different women share their own stories about Ron being inappropriate with them. Of course. There are always others. There always are. Are you okay? He asks. I'm better than okay. I'm free. He hugs me then, quick but fierce. I should have done something. Before. I knew he was. You're 25. Dylan, you were a kid when he came into our lives. This wasn't yours to fix. A patrol car pulls into the lot different from earlier. Through the barn windows, I see officers entering the reception. Megan meets them at the door with paperwork. Final documentation, I tell Dylan. Trespass order needs witness signatures. My phone buzzes. A text from Mom. Staying at Patricia's tonight. Filed for emergency protective order. Lawyer appointment Monday morning. So she's really doing it. After all these years, all these excuses. She's finally done. Tell Mom I'll call her tomorrow. I say to Dylan, tell her yourself. He says, she's coming outside. Mom pushes through the door. Her navy dress wrinkled, makeup long gone. She looks smaller somehow, but also clearer, like a fog has lifted. I need to say this now. She starts. I failed you, as your mother. I failed to protect you. I chose comfort over your safety. I chose to believe the lies because they were easier than the truth. Mom, no. Let me finish. What you did tonight, the planning, the documentation, the careful legal execution, that's who you are. Strong, smart, prepared. Everything I should have been for you. Behind her, through the windows, Kelsey is cutting the cake. Her smile is plastic. Her new husband's hand on her back, more restraint than support. The photographer captures it all, the hollow celebration, the half-empty dance floor, the obvious absence at the head table. Ron's at the Hilton downtown. Mom continues. The police confirmed he's banned from our house until I can get the papers served. The joint accounts are already frozen. I did that last month, actually. I needed to see. To really see. It was always there to see. I say gently. I know. That's the worst part. I know. We stand there in the light snow, 3 women at different points of understanding. Mom, finally awakening. Me, finally vindicated. Tori, steadfast witness to it all. Through the windows, the reception winds down. The cake is eaten. The music plays. The photos are taken. But everyone knows this wedding will be remembered for one thing only: the night the truth came out, the night consequences finally arrived. I kept the shoes, I tell them, holding up the ivory heels. Evidence, but also a reminder. Of what? Mom asks. That sometimes the most difficult thing you can be is honest. We walk to the parking lot together. Behind us, Maple Ridge Barn glows against the Wisconsin winter sky. Inside, my stepsister dances at her broken reception. Her father sits in a hotel room, banned and disgraced. The guests will go home with a story that changes with each telling. But I have the receipts, the documentation, the proof. As Tori starts her car, I pull out my phone one more time. A final photo, the barn in the distance. Snow falling, the truth finally told. You know what, I say, looking at the ivory shoes in my lap. I'm not the difficult one. Tori grins, pulling onto the main road. Never were. The barn disappears behind us, taking with it years of silence, compliance, and carefully maintained lies. Tonight, I didn't ruin a wedding. Tonight, I simply refused to let it ruin me. The snow falls heavier now, covering the tracks in the parking lot, the crushed boutonniere, the remnants of a $30,000 disaster. But no amount of snow can cover the truth once it's been illuminated under those bright LED screens. No amount of white can wash clean what's been documented, filed, and witnessed. I roll down the window, let the cold air fill my lungs. For the first time in 5 years, I can breathe. Really breathe. Hey, Elise, Dylan texts as we reach the highway. The DJ just played Truth Hurts by Lizzo. Half the room cheered. I smile, watching the snow swirl in the headlights. Sometimes the truth doesn't set you free. Sometimes you have to set the truth free. And then you just walk away from the explosion. Ivory shoes in hand, evidence backed up in triplicate, and not a single regret in your heart. You did it, Tori says quietly. No, I correct her, looking at my phone where the incident report number glows. We did it. Every witness. Every document. Every person who chose truth over comfort. The highway stretches ahead, dark and certain. I'm Elise Parker. I'm 29 years old. I'm an event manager who knows every clause in a venue contract. And tonight, I'm not the difficult one. I'm the one who finally said enough. Thank you so much for listening to my story. I'd love to know where you're listening from. Drop a comment below and let's connect. If this story resonated with you, please subscribe to the channel and share your thoughts. Your experiences and perspectives matter, and I'd really appreciate hearing what you think about standing up to family bullies and toxic dynamics. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you won't miss the next story. Remember, you're never alone, and your truth deserves to be heard.